Okay, you're welcome. Now, we want to look at risk management, and this is the most important thing about trading because if you don't take into consideration how much you are going to risk, how many trades you want to take, and all those things, before you see, you'll be losing out in trading because there's no way you can be 100% correct with all your trade. There's no way. There is no way. Even if you are a market maker, you can still make some losses, all those things. So now we have to calculate our risk. Now to calculate how much to risk per trade, we need to know the total capital available to trade. How much is in your account balance? Is it $100, $1,000, $100,000, and so on and so forth. So you need to know how much you have in your account. Then if you have $10,000 or $1,000, you don't want to risk your full $1,000 on one trade. No, you have to put it, segment by segment. Now, generally, to determine the effectiveness of a trading strategy, that this is one of the things I learned online, that for you to determine the effectiveness of a trading strategy, it needs to be put through a consistency test of 400 series of trades. And when you run it in 100 series of trade, you now know how many trades you have to win in 100, how many trades you can lose. Okay? For you not to go through those many stress of having 100 trades to check your strategy, you can apply the 10% rule, meaning that if you have 10 trades, knowing the probabilities of the outcome of how many of those 10 trades would be winners or losers. How can you know if you have 10 trades, out of those 10, you want to know how many is going to win, how many is going to lose? By this, if you can come out with a particular figure, you can use it to assume this 100 trade series. Now, and when overall, if after the 10 trades, if this your strategy is profitable or it is not profitable. Okay, now coming to the risk reward ratio, and what it means is that simply is the amount to lose when trade fail and amount to win when trade play out as well as what as forecasted. You are in a trade, you need to know how much you are going to lose. If it's $1, if it is $2, and how much you want to win. Just like gamblers, maybe you are looking for odd. If you are giving 2 odd or 3 odd, you know how much you are going to put. If it plays out, good. If it doesn't play out, you know how much you are going to lose. Okay, now for example 1, in 10 trades, I'm going to run 3 examples. Let's look at example 1. In 10 trade, if we have an arrow, that's risk to reward of 1 to 1, meaning that we are risking $1 to get $1, and there are 5 losses, 5 winnings. That's an example. We win 5, we lose 5. If you do the calculation, we are going to be left with what? $0. Okay, so that is like in this place, we risk $1 to get $1. That is the arrow there. You can see it, risk reward ratio. Using this our calculation tools. Now, coming to example number 2, we can see in the number 2 that if we risk in 10 trades with 1 to 2 risk to reward, meaning that we risk $1 to get what? To get $2. So if our trade play out, we will lose. If our trade does not play out, we lose $1. If it plays out, we win $2. And for example, and with 6 losses and 4 winnings, when we lose $6. When we win, each of those winning is going to be 2. So therefore, since we are winning 4, we multiply that 4 times the 2. So meaning that everything we are going to have is $8. Then you remove the $8 from the one that you lose, which is 6, and we come out with what? $2. Now let's look at the example 3, the last one, with 1 to 3 raised to reward ratio. That's if you are using $1 to get $3, and with 7 losses, when we lose $1 in 7 times, and we are winning 3 times out of 10 trade. We win 3, we lose 7, and anytime we win $3. That will not be each of those winning multiplied by 3. That is why we have 3 times 3 is what? 9. And overall, we now remove this 9 trade that you have won we remove this total profit we make from the 3 trade, making it $9, and then we remove $9 from 7. We're going to have what? $2. So if you see the example 1 is not profitable at all using 1-to-1 based on our strategy. Okay, this is some of the things I've back tested and checked out. Although it's good, but it may lead to a lot of time wasting, all those things. So this strategy, I will take you to the best RRO you can use. Now number 2, you can look it, is kind of profitable, and you will notice that when we are using 1-to-1, the probability there, we lose 5 trade, we win 5 trade. At least that argument is strong. But when we now use 1-to-2, you see that we lose more trade, 6 trade instead of 5. We lose 6, we win 4. So meaning that the higher your RRO, the lesser the trade you win. So therefore, number 2 is kind of profitable also. Now, to crown it all, number 3 is very powerful. That 3 there, meaning that we have 1-to-3, risking $1 to get $3. And with this, we say that if we have in a worst scenario whereby we have 7 losses and we have 3 wins, and each of those 3 wins is what? Anytime we win is we win 3. That means 3 times 3 is 9. And we have done the calculation, 9 minus 7, that's the loss there, meaning we have $2. So example 2 and example 3, when we raise 1-to-2 is good, we also raise 1-to-3 is good. So I will recommend that you use this 1-to-3 risk to reward that's the mostly recommended with this price action strategy. All right. Now we want to know percentage risk per trade from our capital. Now we have known that, okay, we want to be risking 1-to-3. We need that we risk $1, we get $3. So in the situation whereby we now, for example, our $100 capital, how much are we going to risk? And not just that, for how many trades before possible account balance loss. So if for example we have using the $10, the 10% rule, whereby we risk $10 from our $100. So that is what I've done here per trade. So that will be $10 we are risking per trade. If you do the mathematics, you see that $10 times 10 is going to give us what? $100. As our capital here is $100. Now, I hope I'm not confusing you with the mathematics. All right, I'm using the 1-to-3 RRO. That is, you will raise $10 from $100, and we're going to get what? $30. And then with the 10% rule, I'm winning only 3 from 10 trades. We are going to be losing 7 trades. That's in the worst scenario from this our strategy. Now, when we lose 7 trades, which we will lose $7. Sorry, that we lose 7 trades, and each of those trades is $10. In this scenario, meaning that we'll multiply 7 times 10, we're going to have minus $70 as per trade. Each of the trade is what? $10. If you do the mathematics, anytime we lose $10. Trade 1, trade 2, whereby we lose 1 times another 10. Do the mathematics, $1 into 7 places. $10 into 7 places is what? $70. That's what we'll be losing. Then when we win, and our forecast here, for example, that we win 3 trade, then as per a win is times 3. So therefore, 3 times, anytime we win times 3 of what we are risking. So since we are going to be winning 3 times, we now have 9. That's 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times, how much are we risking again? Remember, we are risking what? We are risking $10. So 10 times the total outcome of our risking that play out. We now have what? We now have $90. Okay, as per trade is what? Per trade is $10. So overall, when you do the mathematics, we have $90 that we have won minus the $70 that we lose, and that was going to give us overall profit of $20. And this is just in 10 trade. And all this example I'm showing you is in a worst case scenario, because we are not just taking trade randomly, we are taking trade with our entry model. But If you have a worst case scenario in 10 trade, you are guaranteed to win 3. In as much you follow the rules, you are guaranteed to win 3 trade. At the end of 10 trade, you should also be in profit by applying this our rule of 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now, from $1,000 down or upward, mostly recommended below $1,000, okay, you can split the capital into 30, whereby so total of 10 trades before account balance, loss or profit is going to be 30 trade. This is what I'm talking about. When we have $10, we can be able to, when we have $100, we can risk $10 per trade. So the more, when your capital is going up, the lesser you are going to be risking. Now, if you have $1,000 and you are risking $100 per trade, per trade, even if you are confident with this strategy, there might be an issue with you willing to take some trade because you'll be afraid. Probably you have run seven losses or 6 losses. You might be afraid to take the next trade. So therefore, if you have a $1,000 account, you can split your account balance into 30, and $1,000, when you do the mathematics, divide by 30, then you can be using the amount you are going to get for each of the trade, meaning that you will have 30 trade before you can lose your whole $1,000. And if you are following these rules and our strategy, it is unlikely to do what to happen. Lastly, we want to look at the percentage to risk per trade for each of our entry models. Maybe for example, mostly it is recommended that in as much, maybe you want to be trading from $1,000 capital upward, okay? If you want to be trading $1,000 capital upward, if you are using 1%, automatically you are following the rule of doing 100 trade to determine your strategy. Hope you understand. If you are using 1% to trade from $1,000, what are you going to be having? You are going to be having $10 to trade. Meaning that when you win, when you lose $10. And if you do the mathematics, $10 from $1,000, you still have about you still have $990 left. So with this in mind, it is very convenient for you to use $10, out of your $1,000 to trade. You have $1,000, right? Then you are being say, okay, risk $10 to get $30. Are you getting it? So when you risk $10, you get $30. At least, if the $10 does not play out, you are going to be losing what? $10. Then you still have about $990 left. Okay? So at least this will give you confidence to take the next trade, so on and so forth. But if you are using $100 per trade from your $1,000, I'm telling you, by the time you lose $500, you have minus $500, then you have plus $500 left. Your confidence level will be reduced. That, oh, should I take the next trade or should I not? So to save you those stress, for each of the entry models, maybe when you see the first trade, the entry model is what? It's a moving average. You can raise 0.3% of your total account balance, probably from $1,000 upward, and 0.3% of your $1,000, do the mathematics, you will come out with it. Then, when you talk about flip, maybe the model that presents itself at that moment is flip model. You can raise 0.5% of your capital for the trade. Then, if the one that comes out that moment for you to trade is demand or supply confirmation, you can now risk 1%. Meaning that you can now risk 1% of your capital, because among this first one, second one, third one, the one that can boost your confidence to enter any trade is this demand or supply confirmation. Because price is telling you that yes, this supply zone is going to hold by giving you this another candlestick confirmation pattern to enter. Okay, this number one, number two, they also play out a lot, but by the time you run the back, if you back test this first and second strategy against this third strategy can give you more confidence. So if you are risking, you can risk 1% per trade for demand or supply confirmation, 0.5% of your capital. And you know how to do it. That's if you want to use calculator, you just say 0.5% divided by 100. Okay, the value that you have, you need to multiply the amount the total account balance you have. Maybe you have $1,000. You can do the mathematics. 0.5% divided by 100, then use that value now to times your capital. So you have the exact figure to risk per trade.